In this segment, I'm going to teach you guys how to install and configure, get running Sophos Antivirus for Linux. Now you might be thinking to yourself, I'm running Linux, it should be secure, I shouldn't have to worry about antivirus. Well, that really isn't the case. You still need to worry about antivirus systems. Malware things can still infect any Linux system out there, so running a quality antivirus system will help you eliminate and alleviate those fears. One of them that I do love is Sophos, so I'm going to try to get you guys to run through this thing real quick, learn how to get it installed, configured, and deleting some viruses as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in. If we take a look at my machine, I'm going to open up my web browser. We're going to go right to the Sophos.com website, download the package so we can get it installed. So all I'm going to do right now is just get my web browser open. Firefox came pre-installed with this, and I enjoy Firefox, so it's easy enough to go ahead and use what's given to me. I'm going to go to www, let me double click that, www.sophos.com. You'll see I've been there a couple times before in the past, and that will take you to their main page. Now there is one thing I do want to go ahead and warn you about in Sophos's actual website here. It can be a little difficult to find where the AV, the free AV for Linux is. It's not as easy as pie as I'd like it to be, but I'll help you navigate through this thing so you can go right to it and get this thing downloaded. So what we got to do is, first off, is right here at the top, we have this products area. That's where we want to go first. So I'm going to click on the word products itself. That will eventually take me to their products area. If I can, there we go. And now we should be here. Marion here is trying to get me into a chat, but I don't care to chat with her right now. I'm chatting with you good folks. So I'm just going to scroll now all the way down to the very bottom of this page. This is where you want to go. And I don't mean almost to the bottom, I mean all the way down. So if I scroll all the way to the very bottom, you'll notice here under popular, you get this lovely free tools option. Now this might be in other parts of their website, but this is how I know how to get there. So that's how I'm teaching you. So if I click on free tools, that will take me to these, obviously, these free tools area. Plenty of good stuff. Sophos makes a variety of excellent products, but specifically for this, we want to get their antivirus system. So I scroll down. It is the last option on this page. We have Sophos Antivirus for Linux, free edition. Love that free. It's my favorite price, free 99. So I'm going to go ahead and just click the download link. And you'd think, oh, we're going to start downloading. No, not quite yet. We have a few more little things to go through here. Gives you an overview of the system, but we already know that's what we want to do, so we're going to click this little button over here on the right that says Get Started. Gives us our version, lets us know this is the free version of this. I just click Get Started. Now we're still not downloading. No, they still got a couple of hoops to jump through. Here we just need to fill out some information. They're just looking for a name and an email address to basically give you some offers and other things. So you'll notice I did not actually fill out my own name and email address. I created Mr. Jimmy Hendrix an account here with Sophos, so he will get all the email from Sophos instead of myself. Thank you there, Mr. Jimmy. Then all you would do is click Submit. Once you click Submit, it's going to take us to yet another page. You would think, oh, we're going to be downloading. No, we're now at the final steps. We're going to be able to click a download link, and that's where we're at. So I'm going to click Download. And guess what? We're still not downloading. We have to now go through their end user license agreement. You can read that at your leisure, but when you're done, or if you just want to go ahead and click I accept the terms, the condition, that's fine as well. Just check that out and then click Submit. Now we should be, yes, coming to the part where we can actually download the system. It was a lot of hoop jumping, but it is worth it in the end, so bear with it and you'll be good to go. So it's asking me if I want to open with the file manager. Your Linux distribution may act differently. Your version of a browser that you're using may act differently. With mine, I definitely want to save the file to my local hard drive, so that's what I'm going to choose, this save file. And then I can hit OK. Once I start doing that, it will download, and you can see the download is starting. It does take a minute or two, and I'm not going to make us go through all that. I'm going to go ahead and close this. I've pre-downloaded the Sophos system, so we don't have to wait for that download to happen. Once that's done, you just have to know where your browser downloads things. If not, you can always run the find command to try to look for that software package that you just downloaded. But as for the website is concerned, we're basically done with that. We shouldn't need anything else from it. We've already got our installation package, so we can go ahead and close that. So now that's closed. The next thing we need to do, obviously, open up a terminal so that we can start working with the package. Now, you may prefer a package management type system, and that's just fine, but I like to run things from the command line. Hey, we're using Linux here. Well, what's the purpose if we're not going to be CLI oriented? I love the CLI. So I got to find my terminal session here. I got one down in my taskbar. Click on that, and it brings up my terminal. This is a little small for us, so I'm going to just raise the resolution, make that a little bit easier to see for you good folks. So now that I'm in my terminal, I just need to navigate to wherever the installation package is for Sophos. I happen to know exactly where that is. I have a downloads folder that my Firefox web browser downloads to, so I just need to change into that directory. So I'll use our cd command here and go into I'll do an ls first to show you. Here is my downloads folder, and since I'm already in the directory above it, I just need to hit cd don, and then I can tab the rest of it out, finish it for me. I've changed into my folder, ls, you'll see there is my Salve Linux, or the Sophos Antivirus, as it were, for Salve, letting you know there is my package. Now you'll notice it has a .tgz extension that lets us know a couple of things, is that it's been archived using tar, and it's also used gzip to compress that format, zip it up a little bit, make it a tad bit smaller. So we need to run a specific command to make sure that it will unzip it and then extract the files. So we'll use our tar, our tape archive utility, and -z to make sure it unzips the file. Let's see here, X for extract the contents within the tar, and then V for verbose. I also usually add an F for, I think it's like a file archive type switch, but I'm pretty sure that you don't need the F, but it's there just in case I do. And now we just fill out what package do we want to unzip and extract, and that's the only one we have, which is Salve. Notice I just typed in the first couple of letters and hit tab. It completed that out for me. Once I do that, you'll see it's starting to extract and unzip everything that's in there, dumping it into a new folder, creating that there in the same directory. Now, if you don't want it in this directory, that's fine. You can copy this, move it, do whatever you need, put in a directory that's a little more suitable for your taste, but I'm just sticking with the defaults for demonstration purposes. Let's go ahead and do another ls real quick, and we'll see that we now have a Sophos-AV little directory. So that's what we need to change into. So use my cd command again, to Sophos-AV, and now if I do an ls, I've got a couple of files in here. The only one we're really worried about at this juncture is that install.sh. That is our installer, and that's what we need to run. Now, this will require the administrative privileges, so you're probably going to have to run a sudo if you're not in or running as the root user on your computer. So sudo will usually do it for you. If not, just go ahead and switch user into that root user, and that will definitely get you where you're going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit the sudo or sudo, however you like to say it, and then sh, letting it know I'm running a shell command, and then install.sh. I hit return. It's going to ask me for my password, elevating my privileges. Type that in, hit enter, and then we should start getting into the installation. Here we are. This is all text-based, so you might have to do a little bit of reading just to make sure that you're not missing anything and configurations are as you need it. We're going to basically stick with the defaults here, so it's going to be pretty easy. First thing it wants us to do is press return so that we can display the license. They're all about licensing there. Or then we can hit space to scroll through it. So I'm going to hit return, and then you'll notice it says more. I hit space, I get more. I hit space, I get more and more and more and more. There's a lot to this license agreement. If you dare read through it, God bless you. I'm so glad you're going to do that. I've already kind of understood what's going on here, so I just want to agree to the thing so that we can get the antivirus system installed. So I'm just going to click more, and just continue to more my way. As you can see, it's quite lengthy. And I am trying to be a little cautious. I don't want to go too fast, just to make sure that I don't accidentally click something past something. All right, I think I'm close to the end here. There we go. So now it's at the end. It says, do you accept the license? Well, I do. If you've read it and you don't accept it, well, here's your chance to press no, back out while you still can. I do accept this license, so I'm going to go ahead and click Y and hit enter. Now it's going to ask me, where do I want to install the package? Again, you can change the default directory for the installation. For demonstration purposes, our default area is going to work just fine. And it's saving it in /op/Sophos. It's going to create that Sophos-AV directory for us and then dump the installation there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just click enter for the defaults. It's actually at this point checking to make sure that you have sufficient space to install the system on. Make sure that you're not going to eat up all your hard drive space. They're going to warn you about it if you don't have enough. It'll say, hey, there's not enough drive space on this drive. Would you like to point it to somewhere else that maybe you have multiple hard drives in it? So just be aware that that might occur at that point. I have a basically clean drive, so I have plenty of space. It says, do you want to enable on-access scanning? And at this point in time, I think I'm going to go with, well, I'll stick with defaults. That's what we like to do. So I'm just going to click yes. I'll take on-access scanning. This is basically saying, will you allow the system to scan as it's being accessed? It just in the background, whenever it detects a file, you want that to happen. I'll hit yes. Now it says, which type of auto updating do you want? From Sophos, from your own server? Maybe you have a Sophos-AV server in a business environment, or none at all. Well, none is usually never a good idea. Automation is very nice, so I'm going to click from Sophos. That's basically telling my system that get your updates from Sophos.com itself. They will release updates probably once, maybe even twice a day, making sure that you're up to date with all your antivirus and anti-malware signatures, keeping you from being out in the lurch. You can also fire off an update, a manual update as well, with some of the tools that are built in, but it will also auto-update, and that's what we like. So I'm going to pick that. I'm going to go with from Sophos, and I'll just have to press S and return. I think S is also the default, so if you accidentally press enter there, that's what it will be. Now it says, do you wish to install the free or supported versions of Salve for Linux? Now obviously there is support that you can pay for. It's a premium price. I don't think that it's that expensive, but we're talking about free here. We're just trying to have a little bit of extra protection for our systems, making sure we don't get any kind of malware. So I'm going to go with the free version, but if you had a supported license, you would be able to walk through that and put all that in and let it know I have a supported version and give it the information necessary. But I'm going free, so F it is and hit return. Now it says that the free version of Sophos comes with no supports, warning you we're not going to really give you anything, but guess what? There are forums, and you can go check that out, and that should be able to, any questions that you might have, just sign up for their forums, and you'll be able to work with a community of users and probably other security professionals help you get your answer out. Also, it says, do you need a proxy to access Sopa updates? So if you're running a proxy server, even in your home environment, some people use proxies to share internet connectivity. That might be the case. If you know that proxy setting and you are using a proxy, here's your chance to opt into that, set those settings up. I have no proxy for us to take a look at, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit no, which is the default. So I'll hit enter. And now it is fetching the free update credentials, basically a username and password. This stores in a file that's on the system. I have gone through this and accidentally messed around with some things before, thinking I needed to set a username and password. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to sign up for Sophos. You don't have to go to their website and create an account to get updates. The software will do this automatically. It has a free user that logs in to get those updates for you, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, as you can see, it went through and finished the installation. The installation is complete. As it says, your computer is now protected by Sophos Antivirus. That's good, that's what we want to see. Now we need to test that little fact. One way we can do that is to infect our machine with a virus. I don't like going out and actually trying to find real viruses because, well, A, they're a real pain. If you've ever worked with malware and viruses in real life, they are just a bear to deal with, and it will make our show last 2 hours, and that's way too long. Fortunately, there is a test file for antivirus, anti-malware systems that it can test and verify that it is working. It's picking up signatures and making sure that it can detect and delete those viruses or malware. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to download that file. It's from a little place called EICAR, or maybe ecar.org. You can go to their website, download that file, and then we should be able to work with Sophos to detect it and eliminate it. I'm going to go ahead and just shrink my or minimize my terminal session here real quick, and I'm going to reopen that browser. And once the Firefox gets open here, I'll just double click here, and if I go to eicar.org, icar.org, allow us to access those files that we need, those nice test files. And we just wait. Here we are. This is what the site looks like. It's very straightforward. How they're European security experts, and they have this lovely right at the top, download anti-malware test file. So you click on that. It will take you to this. It'll talk about its intended use, why they did this, and we already kind of laid that down. So let's just download it. Here's a nice little download area right here, and you'll notice that we have changed the download area. It'll tell you a little bit about the different downloads, just so that you know a lot of different things. If you have other types of, I think even Firefox might have detected this before on some of my systems. It will show up as a virus. If you have any other viruses, or if you're trying to save it to another machine and you have malware running, or anti-malware running, should I say, it will smoke it. It will take it out. So you gotta be prepared for it to be detected as a virus. But if I want to, here is the download area, normal stuff. You'll notice it gives us in a couple of different formats because, well, we might be downloading malware and viruses in different formats. One is a .com. That might be something that's blocked by your corporate environment. So if you're testing, you might not be able to download that. .txts, though, those are usually pretty easily downloaded from any environment. Also zips and compressed zips as well. So whatever your pleasure is. You notice this also has SSL enabled to make sure that any inline intrusion detection system, prevention systems don't try to stop it. Other things like web filtering doesn't try to stop it. It uses an SSL connection, encrypts the entire thing in the process of downloading so that you don't get stopped from downloading it. All right, that being said, I'm going to go with the SSL encryption and just download the .com file. You'll notice that Sophos does not care. It saw that as soon as it's a very small file, so it was quickly downloaded. It's saying, hey, this is something I know all about. It's already alerting me to a system, giving me an option to say, what do I want to do? This says that the file here is still infected. I only have one option here, is click OK. If this was real world, I would cancel this download because Sophos is alerting me to the fact this has malware, has a virus attached to it, and you shouldn't be downloading it. But I am a Linux user, so I like control. If I want, I can still go ahead and do that. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and save that file. That way we can work from the command line options. Another one I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab one of these zip files as well. Let's see here. And you'll notice, probably because it's zipped or compressed or maybe encrypted to the SSL, it didn't flag this one. So I'm going to save file. So it's not really looking into zips, so you got to be worried about that. So every now and then you do need to run a scan on your system. So now I have two infected files that we can use Sophos to detect and delete. Now I'm going to go ahead and close my browser. I don't need iCar anymore. I'm going to bring my terminal back up. Now all the commands will run from wherever you're at. They are globally recognized, so I can just run them as I need them. The command we're going to need here is Salve Scan. So if I hit Salve Scan, I can also do a, let's see, -H will give me the help. So if I'm not familiar with how to make this run, I can do that -H, and you'll notice there's quite a bit to it. It's a very full-featured antivirus system, even though it runs from the command line interface here. Gives me a lot of different options. You'll notice I can work with zip files, gzip files, be verbose. If I want to remove something, I need to put that in there if it's not just looking to detect, and all sorts of other good stuff. Now let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and drop back down to the bottom. Let's go ahead and scan this directory. I don't need to scan the entire drive. I kind of know where it's at. So I'm just going to scan the directory that those little bad files are in and see what happens. All right. So I'm going to run the Salve Scan, and I'm going to hit it with, let's see here, -remove. So if it finds any infected files, it will remove it. It won't just alert me to the fact that it found infected files. It's going to say, hey, I found this. Do you want me to remove it? I can also put an implicit, but I want you guys to see the prompt there. So I'm going to hit remove and then give it the directory that I want it to scan. Normally that would be just the root directory, but again, we know where this is. So I'm going to hit, let's see, this is in the home directory, then it's my own personal directory, and then downloads. So now if I hit return, it should crank away at this for just a minute, and let's see if it finds anything. Ah, yes, quick scanning virus iCar AV test found in file. Here's the file icar.com. We remember downloading that. Proceed with removal. Do we want to do that? Yes, no, or if I found multiple, do you want to do all of them? I'm going to hit yes on that just by typing in the Y and hit enter. And now it says removal successful. 3 files were scanned. 1 virus was discovered. 1 out of 3 files was infected. And if you need further help, da 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 da. Now, interestingly enough, you'll notice that it did not detect the zip file that we downloaded. Remember, we downloaded 2 versions of the iCar. One was a zipped and one was just a .com file. Found the .com, but it did not see that zip file. So you got to make sure that in the environment that you're scanning, make sure you add the correct flags to let it know to look inside of archives and things like that. Are there gzip files? Are there zip files? And we'll notice that if I do an ls here, that, let me get out of here to here, you'll notice there it is right there, icarcom2.zip. So it didn't look inside of there. We need to tell it to do that. So I'm going to run Salve Scan again. Salve Scan, if I can type, dash, let's see here. I'm sorry, yes, zip. That's right, let it know there are zip files, check inside of them, and then dash remove. So if it finds anything, alert me, prompt me, and we can proceed. So now I just give it the same directory, which is /home/me, and downloads, letting me know that is the directory I want you to look into. Again, normally this would be the entire drive, but for these purposes. Hit enter. Now it's looking through, it's doing its thing, and oh look, it did find it this time because we told it look inside of zipped files. Found a zip file, opened it up, checked out what was inside, found that malware or test malware as it were, and letting us know. So right now we're going to say, yep, we want to remove that, hit return, and viruses were found, viruses were deleted. If I do an ls, we'll notice that now all we have is the installation package .gz file, or TGZ, I'm sorry, and the Sophos directory itself for installation. We have successfully found and deleted malware on this system, or at least pretended malware. Just as a closing aside, I will show you, if you go into that cd/opt and you do an ls, you'll notice there is a Sophos-AV file there as well. If I change directory into that and do an ls, you'll notice I'm getting permission denied. This isn't a protected area of your system, so you got to elevate your privileges. I'm going to make it easy, so I'm just going to do back out real quick and do an su, type in my password so that I don't get any more prompts. I've elevated into root, and now I can go into that Sophos-AV and do an ls. There is in, let's see here, where is it? I think it's in the bin files here. Yeah, here's basically all the commands that come with Sophos. The ones you really need to worry about is the Salve Scan. Obviously, we've used that, and that's Salve Update. So if you wanted to do an update that you kicked off yourself, you don't wait for the system to do it, you could also run that Salve Update system. It would update and get you the newest, latest, and greatest, and you'd be off to the races. All right, so that's basically how you install and configure and get deleting all those dirty little files, those malware, using Sophos Antivirus in Linux.